Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ken Susi here with Fishman Live. I am the brand manager of Fishman Fluence Pickups, so you can ask me any question you want on this live stream, as well as the guitar player of Unearth. Just real quick, head over to www.fishman.com for any type of questions you may have. We'll probably be referring to the website today. Electric, acoustic, MIDI, amplification, anything that you're looking for. Fishman.com has that information. And don't forget, too, another really cool thing that we have going on is the new Fishman store. If you're looking for hats, t-shirts, beanies, whatever it is that says Fishman on it, it's right here for you. And also, another really cool thing, too, which a lot of people don't know, if you head over here to accessories, if there's any type of like Fluence accessory that you need, two-band EQ, pots, little things. People are always looking for parts. People are always looking for things. But anyway, back to you guys. We are broadcasting live across the Twitch, Facebook, and my Unearth Facebook, as well as my own personal YouTube page, Lord of the Rigs. I am always here to put your questions on the screen. What's up? This is, oh yeah, bacon. It's bacon. Man, everyone's into bacon today. Hello, my friend. Hi, everyone. It is so good to be here. So now, right here, this little man just put his little 2 cents in here. Chris Davis, TGI. Guys, I want to just say right off the bat, I've been friends with Chris Davis for a very long time. I've never interviewed him. The only thing we've done is toured and hung out as friends. So this is going to be really fun. Feel free to jump in. Chris Davis from the Ghost Inside is here. Sorry, I'm looking for the right button to put him on the screen. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great, dude. How are you?
I mean, I'm just trying to be the best Bob Barker I can on this live stream, you know?
Well, if you ask me, you're killing it. You're doing just dandy. See,
only friends would only, encourage me, but most people are... Oh, Ken, you look terrible on this thing. No, anyway, so it's good that you're here, man. Like we have a lot of questions here that are popping up for you guys. Feel free. Obviously, someone just brought in drop beat pop punk, so I don't know if you could do any of that today. Tone Zone.
We'll do some drop beat. I don't know about pop punk though.
And you put up the Moss sign, so you're going to be playing for us a little bit later today, guys. Again, just pop in your questions here and I'll ask them as I see them. I'm going to drop my guitar so I can get into interview mode. But, so Chris, talk about what's going on right now with you. What have you been up to?
Well, just like everybody else, just trying not to lose my mind. being stuck at home. But, yeah, I mean, that's really it, is just trying to stay sane, doing the dad life thing. I stream on Twitch, much like you do yourself here. And then kind of sitting here crossing my fingers and all other sorts of things I can do to try to will some shows into existence for this year.
I'm moving the questions up here because it's blocking my beautiful name. But no, last time I saw you played at the Palladium, and you guys obviously killed it. It was an outdoor show, unbelievable headlining show. There was so many COVID restrictions. I mean, at that time, we're talking like back in September, maybe even earlier than that. What has touring been like now that you've been, you've been touring for years without any of this? Now, what is it like now?
Well, shows and touring and stuff for general is just different for us to begin with because we don't do it full time anymore, since the accident we were in. But, yeah, I didn't know what to expect. And I've been my family and I have been super cautious with all the lockdown stuff because I have 2 little ones and my father-in-law has cancer. So it's like, he's high risk. My grandmother has lung cancer, high risk. So we've just been in our own bubble here. And the first time that I was even around, more than a handful of people at a time was that show in Worcester. And for me, it was just like a shock to the system to go from just our household to 7,000 people. It was like, oh my God, this almost feels naughty in a way.
Yeah, you're chasing around a 5-year-old, and then next thing you know, you're playing in front of thousands of people.
Right. But at the same time, it almost felt eerily normal. Outside of everybody wearing masks inside and stuff, when you went out into on the stage or out in the crowd, it just felt normal again. Outside of that, we did 4 shows last year.
Wow.
And all of them felt pretty normal. The only thing that was a little different was Riot Fest. They had some pretty intense COVID restrictions in place for that festival, which I think at the time made perfect sense. But realistically, if you were backstage and playing the festival, it didn't feel any different at all. It just felt like everyday life. I don't know. It was weird.
Right. Besides, your backstage was my concert venue. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, I mean, that was Palladium downstairs. It does fit 2,500 people.
I mean, yeah, okay. I thought you meant Riot because that was just a trailer in like a back lot.
No.
We got spoiled with our backstage area at the Palladium for sure.
Oh, you guys had barbershop, masseuse. It was like, it was so
no
weird.
Masseuse.
I don't know.
There was a barber shop. That did happen.
There was a guy with tattoos trying to talk me into getting a massage. I don't know what happened. So
that was a special massage.
Right. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, that show was unbelievable. That was actually my first time out for a while. Every Time I Die was also on that gig, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So Every Time I Die, I went to go see the two of you guys, and I wasn't vaxxed or anything like that at that time, and I was definitely like looking around, like putting my head, my shirt over my face, not knowing what to do. But we all survived. It was a cool show. But anyway, it's awesome. What do you guys have in the future like planned?
So right now we're headlining a day of So What Festival in Dallas in May. And then, all things willing, we will go to Europe and we're going to do Download Festival. And then I feel so bad for our friends in London, but we are headlining Brixton Academy, and we've had to reschedule it 3 times. So hopefully we actually get to go do it this time. And then we're doing a couple shows in between, but we're gonna end that run of shows by headlining a day of Full Force Festival in Germany.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then there's some stuff that has been tossed around for later on in the year. None of it's confirmed yet. We're still trying to decide what we do and don't want to do this year, and trying to figure out what does and doesn't feel realistic. So no set plans past that, but we've tossed around some ideas.
Yeah, with Full Force, we played that a bunch of times. That's like, I think that's a 20,000 plus festival like attendance, right?
25, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. When you guys play, it's 25. When my band plays, it's only it's about
Get
20.
out of here.
Yeah, we're talking big numbers here for Ghost Inside, guys. If you haven't listened to Ghost Inside yet, they sold out in such a good way. this
Hey man, I mean, I'm not gonna fight it. I feel very fortunate. Ghost Inside and my previous band both have done plenty of touring in the shoebox size venues to 5 people at a time. It's been a grind to get here. I'm okay with where we're at now.
Right, I only kid you because I know that you were once in a band that would play anywhere where there was electricity. So it's totally
yes.
My band is currently still on that wavelength, but it's awesome. So yeah, like let's talk a little bit before we start talking about touring and what you're doing as far as the Twitch and all that good stuff. Let's talk about pickups because so you've been using Fluence for a while now. You're one of my early adapters to the technology, and I know that you were psyched when you got a set, and I know that you were trying to put them in all your guitars. So let's talk about, you don't have to name names of what you're using before, but just talk about what you had before-ish, like what kind of pickup you're using, and what led you to Fishman. Sure.
Well, I don't know if you don't want me to say names or not, but I will say that for the longest time, I was an EMG guy, and I'll stop naming names after that. But that's like, I started playing guitar because of James Hetfield. Right. And he was an EMG guy, so that's just what I played forever. And then at some point along the way, I think I made a shift to passive pickups because I gave up my other gear snobbiness of like tube amps only and went digital. So I was like, all right, well I gotta go snobby in some other place. I'm gonna play some passive boutique pickups for a while, and then my previous band, Texas in July, toured with Unearth, and you had, before Fluences were even on the market, you had some Fluences in one of your guitars, and you were showing me the technology even then, and I was mind blown. And so you sent me some pickups to try out, and that was around the time that I did my first or second tour with the Ghost Inside, and we had just switched to in-ears, and I had 3 guitars out that I was switching in and out throughout the show, and all 3 guitars had different pickups in them, which was like, I couldn't have asked for a better way to do like a shootout of everything, because playing through the same Kemper profiles every night in different rooms, same guitar spec-wise, other than the pickups. And I would always notice that any time that I switched to my guitar that had the Fluences in it, it was like, this is just doing the job of what this band needs. Like, so it was cutting through the mix so much better. Like, I wouldn't adjust my levels, but all of a sudden my guitar was so much more forward in my mix.
Yeah.
And then having both voices, so when I switch to do cleans, which Ghost Inside does a lot more of the back and forth between distorted clean stuff than my previous band did, it's like it just does everything I need it to so much better than what these other pickups that I'm using on this tour are doing. And at that point I was like, well, I'm sold on this.
Well, it's really funny that you said that. I'm so glad that you said that, because a lot of people that view this channel, they're always asking about Fluence and the clarity and all that good stuff. So my first impression of Fluence was I got some Fluence in my guitar, and the first thing I did was I put it in one of my guitars, and I had EMGs or Seymours in another guitar, and I'd play live like you were doing. And I always found myself starting the set with my OG guitar, something that like I was familiar with, and then I would switch to the Fluence guitar, and then I would like switch back, and then I would immediately like turn around and like just start fooling with my amp. Yeah. Right? I'm like, I don't know why, but my tone is not as good as it was 2 seconds ago. And as I started bringing this technology and the pickups into the studio, I started really like dialing in why I like it. And sure enough, like being the artist relations guy now, that was cool, because guys like you, guys like Rush Paris, guys like Dave Pino from Andrew WK, and others, I gave them one set. Someone's interested, yeah, I'll take one set. Let me just give you one set. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And sure enough, it's the same thing every time. Yeah, it was just so much clearer. It sounded so much more awesome in my ears and all that other good stuff. So I guess my question is too, just so everyone knows, what are you using?
As far as the regular old Fluence Moderns, and they do, I mean, they're the all-around killer for heavy music. I mean, what more could you really ask for?
Yeah, so on the screen, this is what I'm showing everybody right now. It's a Fluence Modern humbucker, all different variations in size, colors. We have nickel, brushed nickel, black, plastic. You have black nickel in your guitar, correct?
In this one is the black plastic, but my other ones have the black nickel, yeah.
Yeah, so guys, that is what Chris is using. If you guys have any questions about it, feel free to jump in and ask. But yeah, so let's talk about like the voicings. I'm sure a lot of people switch voicings a lot. Like they play in voice 1 and then they'll switch to voice 2. Me personally, in a live set I don't switch much, but I will double my tracks with the voice 2. I'll start off in voice 1 and then I'll double or quad my tracks and use voice 2. Are there any is there any additional information that you have, like how you use your pickups that's unique or different?
So I almost always, I wouldn't say every time, but I'd say 9 times out of 10, when I switch to a clean tone, I almost always switch to voice 2, just because it's a little bit fuller. It's not rolling off the low end like voice 1 does.
Yep.
But I mean, the Ghost Inside stuff is pretty like pedal to the metal, like pedal to the floor, and so it just really typically calls for voice 1. Yeah. But like I said, most of the time I do like a little bit of extra body to the clean stuff, so I will flip over to voice 2. Yeah. And I might have to bug you for those Hefis to get that voice 3, that split coil, because who doesn't like to mess around in a split coil?
No, yeah, and the Hefi set has really taken off right now, because we added, we were talking about doing his pickup, but we were thinking of putting a voice 3 in there, and sure enough, he wanted it, so we'll definitely send you a set for sure.
Sick. Cool.
Matt Heafy's a nice young gentleman too. So.
He's the best.
So yeah, no, it's funny that you say the voicing differentiation. Like, you're right. Like when you say pedal to the metal, like an active sound gives you that like tight, consistent, like low, like the it's a little bit beefy, but it's a tighter low end. And I do see Ghost Inside, you could use voice 2 in your guitars because a passive sound wobbles more. Yeah.
Oddly enough, that tour I was talking about where I took out the 3 guitars and I was shooting them out every night, at that point I was using exclusively voice 2 because I was on this like passive pickup kick. Mm-hmm. And it felt like if I was going to use the pickups and do a fair comparison, I should be comparing the passive sound. Yeah. And even still, the passive sound still somehow had more clarity and more articulation and just cut better even though it was modeled after a more passive sound, it was still just has more to it than what the other pickups that I was using did.
Well, we'll pause here for a second. Rob just called you the Denim Lord.
My denim vest that I rock live.
Hi,
Rob.
I did see a picture of you wearing a lot of denim recently. I didn't know if you moved to Canada or not.
I would move to Canada.
I would too. Oh man. So let's see if there's any questions going on here. I'm just scrolling in as we talk, but let's go. Everyone's saying good morning. Everyone's just so psyched to see you here. We got a lot of viewers here.
Yes, this is my my stream family. Oh shit, Ryan Bruce in the chat.
Is he here? I'll have to. Okay.
He said, "Can Chris slam a beer while playing a solo? Show him, Ken. I can't do it like Ken, Ryan. I can tell you that much."
Mr. Riff Beards and Gear, and then he wants to say, "When do the breakdowns get played?" So I think that's a good. I think this is a good time since Ryan Bruce is calling it out. We should do it. We should play a song.
Okay.
What is everyone gonna hear right now?
Well, let's play the first track off of our latest record. So this one's called Still Alive.
All right, I'll give it over to you.
Cool. Is that enough breakdowns?
No, not really. That was heavy as nails. Well, I can't wait to deliver this great news. This is probably a career-defining review right here. Mr. Ryan Bruce, Riff Beards and Gears, gave you 5 beards out of 5. 5 out of 5 beards. Yeah.
I'm taking it, and he can't ever take it back. It's been cemented in Twitch chat history here.
Yeah, there's none more beards to get for that for that review.
Thank you, Ryan.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Mr. Ryan Bruce has he should be doing this pretty soon. He's been teasing we're gonna be doing like some special pickups with him as of recently. So
Well,
you
I'll
might see
go ahead
something.
and you can go ahead and put some in the mail to me. Thank you.
Yeah, anything that we make, we'll funnel it right through you.
Perfect. Sounds good.
There was a cool question. Just trying to find it real quick because it was about your guitar, and I want to make sure that that person gets the proper respect. Hold on one sec. Here it is. Bray was asking, I need the model of that LTD. Does anyone know?
This is a TE1000 Evertune, and it is charcoal satin black or something crazy like that. It took me forever to track this guitar down last year. I bugged Tony about it forever, but they were just out of stock because everything's out of stock because COVID. But I love this guitar dearly.
I did the same thing. Like, I took an old ESP guitar and I wanted a black one with like gold hardware, and I just painted a guitar I already had and I put my signature on it. But the cool thing is
so sick.
The cool thing is though, right? This guitar was all I forget what wood this was. Whatever, it was a nice wood, and there was a black inlay. So as you get into the guitar, the inlay actually starts halfway through, so it bleeds into the side of the guitar.
That's so sick.
Yeah. So and these
what model is that? Is that an M?
This is an M1000, a deluxe. It used to be a deluxe, but now it's an ESP Ken Susi.
Yes.
A signature weirdo set. No.
That's so sick. They're building me a custom right now that is. I mean, the M's and the SNs, their snapper like Strat style bodies look pretty similar. And when you pulled it down, I saw the headstock. It's like, oh man, maybe he's got a sick snapper I didn't know existed.
No. So you know what's really funny now that you're saying the snapper? When I originally spec'd out my Sig, I stole. The thing that's unique about my guitar is actually it's like a Strat. It's Strat-like, but it's the snapper pickguard.
Yep.
Not many people know that they because they have a specific. I like the M body sound, but yeah, the snapper is definitely like I like that pickguard versus like the other pickguard they had going on.
Yep.
So so when you say you get a custom coming or is it a signature?
Well, it's a custom for now. I'm trying to rub some elbows and kiss some ass.
All right.
So fingers crossed. So if you see me post about a custom guitar, just tag ESP and tell them you want to see it be a signature model.
That's what I did, and look at where I am.
I'm trying to be you, man.
My rooms are half packed. Yours are fully packed. I got the Sig, you don't, so deal with it.
Hey, fucking fair.
But again, I'm Ken Susi. You know how that goes. So
Yeah,
Drew
you're
is
a god.
Drew's saying, "Howdy guys, never heard of Ghost Inside. Need to check them out now." What does Drew need to know about you guys since he's never heard? Obviously, he just heard you 2 seconds ago. But what should he know?
That's a good question, guys. What should you know?
You're an emotional metal band, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's where what is Jim, our bass player, always says the band is positively pissed. The band sounds very angry, but it's all about overcoming and persevering, and it may sound angry, but the message behind the music is pretty inspirational. Vigil's got a lot of really awesome stuff to say.
I absolutely love that about you guys, and my band also kind of has the same thing. Not many bands do the heavy metal thing with like the positive lyric thing.
Yeah, it's always doom and gloom, and I hate myself and I hate everyone else, and everybody died, whatever.
Yeah.
It's our band is very much the opposite of that. It's like I said, it may sound angry and pissed and all this stuff, but the message behind the song is, and even if the song starts off in a dark place, it almost always ends with like the positive twist at the end.
Yeah.
And so that the whole message behind the band is uplifting.
Right. Like
So if you need a change of pace in your heavy music, come
Right.
hang out with us.
So like a whole song will be about losing your girlfriend, and at the very end you just slip in real quick like, yeah, and I got another girlfriend.
Exactly. That's the first single off of our next record.
Thank you. I'll look for a publishing check in my mail tomorrow.
Perfect.
Actually, we should talk about that a little bit because there is a fan base here. I don't want you to go too crazy on this topic because, you know, a lot of people have heard this before. But, I mean, obviously, when you talk about overcoming things, you guys went through a tragic incident, like, in your van. It is every single touring musician's, like, biggest nightmare as far as, like, just, wrapping yourself around a tree or going off the road or getting hit by a truck. What is it? I mean, this is another good question for Drew. This is another good response for Drew. Like, what happened to you guys? Just for those that don't know, how inspirational your music is and why it is like that.
Sure. Yeah. In 2015, our tour bus was in a head-on collision with a semi, and unfortunately, both drivers passed, and everybody in our band and crew had various levels of injuries, all the way from, like, for instance, I broke both my ankles and, like, shattered my foot, and all the way up to our drummer lost his leg and our guitar player lost half his foot, and our singer had a pretty severe head injury, and it being completely blunt and honest, like, it should have ended us. It should have ended the band's career, and by, I don't know if it's sheer willpower, a lot of it to do with the fans being behind us the whole way, but we were able to pull things back together, and like I mentioned earlier on, like, because of that situation, we don't get to tour full time like we used to, just because our bodies can't really handle that lifestyle anymore.
Yeah.
But to even be able to play the shows that we do get to play is fucking crazy, and I still find myself every time we play a show standing on stage being like, I can't fucking believe that we're here right now after everything we've gone through.
Right. So that's that. I'll definitely add to that. When you see The Ghost Inside, I would say it's very a real experience. I think the fans put out just as much energy as the band does. So that is one thing that you should definitely check out. If you're listening to The Ghost Inside, I highly recommend reading through the lyric sheet as well as when you go see them live. You'll be ready for the test, right? You'll be ready to sing along as well. So,
Yep.
So that's awesome. All right, then we're gonna lighten it up a little bit. Kathy thinks that this is a good question. Donut or coffee in the morning? Or donut and coffee, or do you have both?
Oh, both. 100%.
All right, good.
I literally did this morning.
That's amazing.
That's how I keep this super sexy physique. So that's my secret right there.
I mean, I wasn't going to post any of those questions because I just figured you knew. But yeah, everyone's talking about your workout regimen.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Let's see real quick. All right. So let's talk a little bit about since you haven't been touring as much as you would like to, you became quite the Twitch star. Let's talk about your newfound passion for going online and talking to your fan base.
Yeah, I don't know if star's the right word, but yeah, I just found myself, when it became apparent that the pandemic was going to be longer than 14 days to flatten the curve or whatever the slogan was in the beginning, I lost all drive to even pick up the guitar, because I was like, what is even the point? Like, who knows when this is gonna matter again, and at the end of 2020, I was like, I need something to keep me. I need an accountability outlet, something to make me pick up my guitar at least a couple times a week. And I think at that point I didn't realize that I was really missing, like, the not only playing the shows, but the community aspect of, like, what the metal and hardcore scene is. You go to a show, it's not just about playing on stage, it's about that dynamic between the band and the fans and the band and the other bands, and I was missing that interaction. And so I started to see more of our peers, not just gaming on Twitch, but playing, and I was like, well, I can play breakdowns on stream too. I can play a bunch of zeros on my guitar.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if anybody was going to show up, but I sometime in December of 2020, I did my first stream, and it started off with a couple people, and then those couple people came back, and we started making friendships out of it, and now the community's grown, and it's become it's more than an accountability thing for me now. It's like it's legitimate friendships. It's something that I have to look forward to 3 to 4 times a week, hanging out with these friends that most of them I've never met in person, but it doesn't even matter. You know, like
Yeah.
we have the inside jokes, and we experience things. We watch, you know, goofy stuff on the internet together, and we laugh about shit. And it's been surprisingly fulfilling. It's super awesome. I highly suggest anybody out there that it feels like you're missing some of that human interaction, even though you're not face to face with people. There are these outlets like Twitch and streaming on Facebook or wherever. There's all the technology I can't even imagine what it would be like to try to live through this pandemic without technology. I don't think I would have made it to this point, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm weak. I am weak. I would not have made it. But the Twitch community has legitimately turned my pandemic experience around for me, and I owe a lot to them for being there to lift me up through the whole thing.
That's really awesome, and that's a really good reason to do this kind of thing. I mean, this live stream was based off of that too as well. I wanted to connect with my fan base. I wanted to connect with Fishman's fan base. A lot of people have like questions about install guides and wiring diagrams and all that cool stuff. So and what type of pickups to use. So this is definitely why I do it. But yeah, I call you a star because I see that your channel's blowing up. You know, so anybody that has more than 5 friends, like, you know, I have about 4. When you have 5. Forget about it. And
shit gets real at 5. You're right.
Oh yeah, and you get 5 out of 5 beards. I mean, this one stream is just gonna send your career to a.
I've peaked. It's all downhill from here. It's all downhill from here.
Oh yeah, trust me, it really is. So, Money Hammer's writing, Ken and Chris, do either of you use the HF tilt or anything? Trying to decide if I should go through the trouble of wiring it up. I can answer that. Have you ever monkeyed with it?
My first guitar that I put them in, I had it wired in, and I messed with it a little bit, and then it never became a part of my signal chain, really. Like I used it a couple times, realized it wasn't really for me, and then I've never even had it put in any of my guitars since then. I just leave it out.
Okay, so this is a cool question because now I can educate both of you guys, which is fine. So basically, this is how I use it, and this is a taste test, like cork sniffing thing. In a Strat application, you know, you want that 30-foot length of cable kind of sound to your guitar, darkens it up a little bit. That is why the high frequency tilt exists. But with metal, a lot of people don't know this. So I'm going to ask you a question. When you set up your tone for tracking, do you just like listen to it and say, this tone's awesome, I'm going to move forward with this, and just start tracking? Like you pick the best tone?
Yeah, usually.
Okay, so the next step should be, once you establish what tone you like and you feel is the best, let your drummer play or take your drum program and actually like literally put a beat together and chug or play a riff. One with the tilt on and one with the tilt off. You will find that the tilt on sometimes just takes a little bit of top off the guitar and it makes it gel a little bit more with the snare drum.
That's interesting. And now I'm going to have to do that. You just opened up a can of worms for me, and I might not ever come back out of it.
Right. Well, Larry Fishman was the one responsible for showing me that, because I was like, really, you know, metal guys wouldn't use this. You know, I don't know why you would use this. And he's like, put up a drum beat, right? So I program like a, 4 to the floor or something stupid, just a regular beat. And he's like, play a riff, and then play it with the tilt on. And sure enough, I'm going A, B, and I'm like saying, wait a second, the tone that I thought was awesome is now not the better tone with the drums.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
So that is a reason why Mr. Money Hammer to put it into your guitar and just just check it out, because you never know. Some people just wire it to ground. Some people put it on a switch. So you could even leave the cables dangling, obviously tape them, or you could always wire them to ground so that it's always on or always off. So these are just tricks that the nerds know. So you get a lot of people putting up Moss symbols. You must have started something pretty.
They're all regulars from my stream.
Oh, Caddy too. Yeah, she's moshing hard. This is great. Both guys and girls are doing it.
Yep.
Against all odds. What is that a tune?
It's a lyric from the song I played.
Oh, okay, good. So, do you want to play another track and we'll come back just for a couple more questions? Yeah.
Sure. What should I play? Chat, what should I play next?
All right, we're gonna.
Let me see here.
Someone just. You guys asked everybody what you should play, and then this was the first thing that came up.
I am a pasta bowl. I know what they want to hear. Okay.
All right.
We can do pasta bowl.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna let you have it.
Okay.
I should probably listen to more of your music. I'm sitting over here moshing in my house.
Fun fact about that one. Our mutual friend, Mr. DL, donated a riff to that song.
Oh, cool. He's like the he's the Salvation Army of riffs.
Yeah, he is. He's the man.
He is.
And he's got a fucking angel voice.
Oh, he does. He does. Mr. Bad Wolves, we call him now.
Yeah.
So now so when I text him, usually I would just be like, "You're not my friend anymore. Why don't you call me?" Right? Like immediately after not talking to him for months. And now it's I use his own lyrics against him. The first the first text, like I won't talk to him for a month, and then I'll just be like, "Yo, bro, reaching out can be a lifeline."
Oh my god.
And he calls.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, because you never know. I could be reaching for a lifeline if he doesn't. If
this is true. This is fucking true.
Yeah, if he doesn't call me, then it's on him if something happens.
Oh my god, that's so dark but so amazing at the same time.
DL is so amazing. But so let's talk about real quick too. Before we let you go, you've been doing some shows with Texas in July. How awesome has that been? Like seeing all the old guys that you've been in a band with for a while.
It's really fucking cool. So. For anybody who's watching who doesn't know, prior to The Ghost Inside, I was in the band Texas in July for 6 years. And when the band decided to call it quits. Actually, the band was on its farewell tour at the same time Ghost Inside was on tour where we got in the accident. And I was supposed to join up and do the last half of that tour once the Ghost Inside tour was over. So I never made it there. And in fact, I didn't even get to play Texas in July's last show in the band's hometown because I was still in a wheelchair. So I physically couldn't play. And so I felt like I didn't really get my closure with the band that kind of started this whole journey for me. So to get that opportunity again was really fucking cool. And to get to do it to have the ABR guys have us at their Christmas show, which was obviously fucking huge because that band's, ginormous, was really fucking awesome too. And we're gonna do some more stuff. We're doing a headline show in May. And we just announced that we're also playing. I'm doing 2 days of So What Festival in Texas.
Nice.
I'm going to do one day with Texas in July and then the next day with the Ghost Inside. And there is one more show later on in the year that we'll announce sometime soon. But it'll be much like the Ghost Inside stuff where it's limited number of shows and we'll do it when we can because everybody, like JT, our singer, sings for Era also, and they tour full time. And all the other guys have full-time jobs and are dads, and Adam's going to school to be a fucking doctor or some shit, which is crazy. But yeah, so it's awesome. On the other side of that, I forgot how fucking hard it is to play those songs.
Yeah, because you were a little younger.
It's so much easier to play power chords and breakdowns.
Yeah, you had more to prove back then.
Yes, and I look back and I'm like, why did we do this to ourselves?
Yeah, now you clearly don't have anything to prove.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could take off at least 3 strings of that guitar and you'd be all set for a show.
I'd be all right with that too. That's way less to worry about. Sign me up for that gig. Where do I sign up for that band?
I'm literally the same way. Like now, I'm kind of like, I'll look at Buzz and I'm like, do we really want to write a technical record? Do we really want to? Don't you have fun jumping around on stage? This is ridiculous.
So what you're saying is the next Unearth record is just a pop record.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be home for it.
Amazing.
Someone's gonna call me iPod, and they're just gonna press play with the band, and I just will be, I'll be some robot or something on stage.
I'm waiting until we can send holograms on tour, and I'll just play the show from my bed or something.
Oh
Sign me
yeah.
up for that.
Dude, there was a time where we were like, we didn't have a drummer, and I legitimately, before we found Nick Pierce, we had J-Fo filling in from Killswitch, and I was just like, there was so much online content of these robots playing drums. I was like, how awesome would it be to have just like a robot show up and like play drums, and then like you wheel him out to the merch booth, someone puts $1 in his shoulder or something, and they just stamps an autograph. How awesome would that be? And then you load them into the trailer at the end of the night.
And that's one less person to pay, too. Incredible. You're onto something.
Yeah, wait till you see my robot band in 2025. Just going to become an engineer by then.
Yeah, perfect. Sign me up.
So, real quick, anything else you want to talk about as far as, like, gear you're using? Like, because we're running out of time. I just want to make sure we're fulfilling all these questions up here.
I'll just go through my whole signal chain right now. We just recently switched to the Neural DSP Quad Cortexes. We played the Kempers forever, and we had some, and I don't want to dog on Kemper because I do think they make a great product, but they failed us big time last year during a couple shows and made some awkward moments in our set, and I said, no more. So we actually just recently switched to the Quad Cortexes, which I love so far. And so basically it's just my guitar into, right now I'm using a Line 6 HX Stomp to do my pitch shifting stuff because it's MIDI controlled, and since we automate all of our patch changes live, it's nice to not have to have somebody twisting a wheel on the drop pedals, which is what we were doing before. But now, for
which
instance,
pedal is this?
What's that?
Which pedal is do you use whammy for whammy?
It's the Line 6 HX Stomp.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I don't know if I can say, but they did acquire a team of people who are, let's just say, they've been very influential in the pitch shifting world, and they've built that technology into the HX Stomp, and it's fucking awesome.
Awesome.
And so it's just guitar into that, and then into the Quad Cortex, and it's then straight to, right now into the DAW, but straight to front of house or our in-ears. And it's pretty fucking amazing. Super cool technology. I fully back the Neural DSP stuff.
Wow, so this HX Stomp 2, just to go back to that's a Line 6 product, right?
Yeah.
Let me just see if I can pull this up. I just want to see what's going on here. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yep, that's it. And what's super cool is, like I said, we're only using it for our pitch shifting, but we can even build backup, like make these our backup rig. If our main rig goes down, you can build a whole tone out of that and just use that instead of like our quad cortexes if we in like an absolute emergency scenario. So it serves a couple purposes for us, but the main one we're using it for right now is just to do all of our pitch shifting, because we play in 3 different tunings, and because of our limited shows, we do a lot of fly stuff now, so we try to keep our rig small. So we just take a main and a backup guitar and then switch between tunings by pitch shifting with that thing.
That sounds pretty darn awesome. And everyone, just so you know, $649. Chris Davis is a rich man. He can afford that.
No. I performed a lot of favors to get it for less. I'm kidding. No, we paid the full price, but it's, I did a lot of really boring testing, and I think I even did some of it on my stream, where I tested the drop pedal versus the pitchfork versus the HX Stomp, and I think there was a fourth one.
Yeah.
And the HX Stomp just smoked everything. Keeps all the dynamics. It builds in. It has an auto EQ built into it, because when you pitch shift, you like build up these like weird low mids and low end stuff, and it'll auto EQ some of that out for you to keep your tone more consistent as you pitch shift. The tracking is really good. It's awesome.
All right, we're gonna have to talk about that, guys.
Yep.
I'm gonna, Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Hang out for a minute. I'm just gonna see you off, but I'd like to thank you for playing Fluence and sharing your stories and sharing some of your tips and tricks with us. I think everyone got a real good kick out of it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Let me just hang tight for a sec. Guys, this is Ken Susi here with Fishman. Everything you hear is true. Podcast and / live takeover. Today we had Chris Davis from The Ghost Inside playing songs for you, talking shop. Absolutely amazing. I will be here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 1 to 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. Guys, I will see you next time. Thank you so much for showing up. This was truly a great live stream.